Parents and teachers have done a pretty good job getting the word out that smoking cigarettes is dangerous.
Teens aren't smoking as much now as they did in decades past, but the number of children and teens using e-cigarettes or vaping has skyrocketed over the last couple of years.
Local school districts say that they're already behind now on getting the message out because many kids are addicted before they even hit high school.
KCTV5's Amy Anderson takes a closer look at what's being done to keep your kids safe.
There is no question kids these days are trying to be healthier. They're drinking more water. Many of them regularly work out and make good food choices. And they're not smoking cigarettes nearly as much. But the nicotine delivery system that markets itself as a safer alternative to cigarettes is hooking children in droves, even kids in middle school.
A lot. Most of the people in high school.
It is
not gonna lie.
Elizabeth Hernandez is a senior this year and says while she doesn't vape, most of the people she's around do. And many of them have never smoked a cigarette.
I know people who've just gone straight to vaping, just skipping the cigarettes.
It is an epidemic.
Shelby Rebeck is the director of health services for the Shawnee Mission School District. She says they're having a heck of a time getting in front of a problem that's only getting worse.
We're so behind in responding to this. Our kids are already physically addicted by the time we're trying to address it.
The statistics provided by the CDC tell a troubling tale. In just 1 year, the number of middle and high school students using e-cigarettes jumped from 2.1 million in 2017 to 3.6 million in 2018. And despite the claims of many manufacturers, the CDC says they're not safe. They contain ultrafine particles that are inhaled into the lungs and contain cancer-causing chemicals and heavy metals. The CDC also warns using nicotine in adolescence can harm parts of the brain that control attention, learning, mood, and impulse control. They say the bottom line is they are unsafe for kids, teens, and young adults. But getting that message across has not been easy.
I stopped smoking cigarettes because it's just gross and tastes good, but I really like nicotine.
Like I was in a weights class, for example, and literally everybody in the locker room would be doing it because there's no way to do anything about it. And the second you walk in the locker room, you just put them away. Simple as that, and the smoke goes right away.
We started seeing our bathrooms full of students vaping, even at the middle school level.
And the fact e-cigarettes are disguised to look like harmless objects only adds to the problem.
Students are telling us that, because they look like a flash drive, teachers don't know. They've dropped them in class, picked them back up, and handed them to the student. Oh, you dropped your flash drive.
Just take a look at these. If you're not familiar, how would you ever know this isn't a flash drive? These are items taken from students at Indian Hills Middle School last year. In June, a task force came together in the state of Kansas and last week introduced 8 elements of a vape-free school that'll be sent out to all districts in the state, including how to identify vaping materials, how to talk to your kids, and promoting education about the dangers of vaping into the classroom curriculum. Shawnee Mission, Blue Valley, and Olathe are all jumping on board the efforts to get a grip on the problem, and many districts in Missouri are as well. Just last week, Blue Springs made the decision to lump e-cigarettes into its no tobacco rules on campuses. In Kansas City, Missouri, vaping products are not allowed, and students are required to take health and wellness courses that talk about the negative effects of vaping. Same thing in Grandview, where they're banned like any other tobacco product. So while we're ahead of the game on fighting cigarettes, there is a new battle at hand, and it's fierce.
I feel like it is just as hard, maybe even harder, because the concentration of the nicotine in the vape solutions is high, and so their bodies are just physically craving it.
Rebeck says she hears from parents all the time, desperate for information on how to help their children break the addiction to e-cigarettes. She and many others say they'll do whatever they can to win this war. Amy Anderson, KCTV5 News.